Everyone, this is Bill of the Man bringing you session 15 of our Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition game, The Ancient War Reborn. I'm your DM, JVD.
Hey guys, I'm Evan the Great from the Bill of the Man. I'm playing Luda Silverstring. Luda, can't talk straight. She is the Elven Bard, and we've been having all kinds of fun.
That's what she said.
I'm the Bearded Wonder with the Villains of Man, and I'm playing Vesper Nord.
I am Smiley playing Order Dwighthammer.
And conspicuous by his absence is Wes. He's got some personal problems going on today, so we will march forward without him. Luda, give me the recap. Last time we played.
Let's see. Last time we played, we arrived to our destination to meet my fellow future lover, past lover, whatever you want to call him. And we had a meeting of minds where we gathered with some of the high authorities of, what was it, Waterdeep, the dwarf place, Gauntlet Ground, some other high-ranking people. We talked to a purple dragon knight. But in this meeting, we talked about all the attacks, the dragon attacks, the cult attacks. Basically, all the attacks has been happening all down the west coast. I think it's west coast.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Oh, cool. I know my directions. And then we told them about the dragon we killed, and we're trying to connect it all. It wound up getting into a big fuss of arguments. Afterward, we met up with the Purple Dragon Knight. We asked him different things about the history of the lands and the Dragon Liches that maybe they've been trying to summon. We put a map together, which is somewhere in my notes, but I've got X's and stuff all the way up and down the west coast. We're trying to figure out what was going on. We talked to Lee Olsen and the Purple Dragon Knight. We're trying to talk to the two dwarven women that are from the, what's it called? The
Gauntlet Ground.
The Gauntlet Ground. And there isn't. I got it wrote down, but I didn't have it out right now. But we're basically we think a lot of stuff has to do with that place, and we're trying to get a meeting with them to find out what's going on. There's a ancient elemental thing down there, and
that you're obsessed with.
I am obsessed with it, and
George.
Magara. I didn't even write that down. Let's remember it.
that's all the stuff that my character was doing, trying to help out the group. And in the meantime, we have her, which is trying to get her love interest on what carriage? And over here?
She came here with Grizzly.
Oh yeah, she came with Grizzly. My bad. So they arrived, and that's all I can remember.
You're on your way to the Goldenfields.
Oh yeah, we're going there. That's where they're putting the concentration camp. I mean, where they're putting us at, and it's kind of weak that we got to go there.
We met Erdan Shushk, who Luda tried to disarm, and he showed her up, and Vesper is the only one that is not buying it. Realizes
We're placing rolling with him. Okay?
Yeah,
He's more of a life of the party.
Yeah.
Oh, Sir Elsteval is the Purple Dragon Knight. I wrote his name down.
That is correct.
And the Primordial is always looking for the history of, and there's a fire elemental.
Magara.
Yeah,
Magma Dawn Titan.
Magara the Dawn Titan.
There we go.
The Dawn is someone that runs the Mafia.
Don Cole.
Anyways, so you guys are approaching the Goldenfields. You're a mile away, and it's all open for the most part, pretty much flat land. And you can't miss this place. For as long as you can see as you approach the Goldenfields is walls for miles and miles, and these walls are large. It's almost, you would think, as if walking to a walled city, just from the distance. As you get closer, you notice there's a gatehouse. Obviously, this is the direction everybody's marching into. He's pretty excited. He believes himself a member of Greenfields Company now. I mean, no one's really telling him any different, so he's assuming he's part of it.
Sure, he can be a part.
He's an honorary member. That's what I've heard.
Vesper, roll me a d6. High, he gets stuck with you guys once you get broke up later today. He is not, okay. So, you approach the gatehouse. These walls are 60 feet tall. You kind of notice towards the front of the gate that the walls are in pretty good shape. But you notice, especially you being a dwarf, or notice that there are parts that have been repaired. And you being in your dwarven knowledge would realize the upkeep for this wall is probably astronomical, and you can probably guarantee that there are spots that probably need repair. Just by looking at the length of this wall, it goes as far as you can see. I mean, it is massive. Up from the gatehouse, a human male yells down to you and says, "Greetings. I take it you're the new group from Waterdeep."
That would be us.
I will have nothing better to do, and if this felt like a good cause.
Erdan Shushka, he speaks up. He's like, "Hey, Greenfields Company, at your service."
Hey!
Yeah.
You take the banner and you can pull like a hacksaw Jim Duggan and just wave the flyer around. And he says, "Welcome." He says, "My name is Pontinus Tarm, and I'm the Castilian here at Goldenfields." He says, "I pretty much run the show, and I'm the commander of all the walls." You kind of see some guards when he says that kind of roll their eyes. And he says, "Come in and we'll begin to split you guys off to your groups." His doors open up, and as far as you can see, as soon as you walk in, besides the guards, are crops. Just as far as you can see. But directly in front of you, the road cuts off, and you can tell there's a giant statue down the road.
Clavo says it's of this guy.
He's SpongeBob in this place.
You know, it's unlike when you come into the city, everybody here is pretty friendly. You know, some people, you know, when you walk out, they'll stick their hand out, give you a handshake, give you a nod. You notice some of the guard wear the same garb, some of them don't. So it's very easily to tell that some people here are hired on almost like mercenaries, and there are actual guards that help run this place. As far as you can see, like I said, there's fields, and every now and then you'll see people out there tending to the crop. Anthony Starm, he comes down and he says, starts yelling off names. And you four, I should say, not Leslie's not here. You guys are all pulled into a group, and he tells you you have guard duty. Your guard duty is at 9 bells at night.
So 9 bells, like 9 o'clock.
Exactly.
Okay.
9 bells. He tells you. That's just what he tells you. Shift change at 5 bells in the morning, 1 bell in the afternoon, 9 bells at night. They tell you the abbot, Ellerden Darvogic, he does morning service to Chatia at 9 bells in the morning, high sun, 3 bells in the afternoon, and 6 bells in the evening. You're not really, you don't have to show up for service, though some of us do because we see it from a break. We take our jobs very seriously here. It was like, don't get me wrong, we're pretty loose about things. Everybody's here but almost for their own benefit, for the benefit of the town surrounding Goldenfields. It was like, but we tend to stay out of trouble. There's not a lot of trouble here, and everybody tends to enjoy themselves. He says, as for now, he's like, if you've been hired on here through mercenary work, your tenure here is 6 months. He says, if you've been hired on through the city as an actual guard of the Goldenfields, you're here for a year.
I think we've got house volunteers, right? No, we want us to come here by a friend.
I mean, he's not talking to you guys directly. You got like
okay.
50 people.
Oh, okay, I'm sitting here like, we didn't.
But then again, that's the response I'm looking for. Like, we weren't told her no.
That's gonna be awesome with someone here.
Send a message, damn it.
Just like don't it.
I don't think
That's
your
what it
boyfriend's
is.
fucking
Shit,
ass.
line.
Yeah.
We're here until they call us back.
Well, pretty much it's kind of what he told you,
Yeah.
you know, is kind of get you out of sight, get you away. He tells you, if you want, you can stay at the Harvest Home Abbey, where you can rent a nice and established room. He's like, or you can stay in your bunks in your assigned guard towers if that is your job.
Is there a forge nearby?
He said, we really don't carry forge work around here. Most of it is to tend to crops. He says, but if you are skilled with tools, feel free to help repair the wall and spots if need be. It's like, as you can tell, and he kind of holds his hand out wide. I mean, you can't even see the other side of the place. He's like, you know, there's a guard post every mile on the wall. He's like, a good set of hands to help repair things is always needed here.
Hey,
He's like, but he tells you, I'm sorry, good dwarf, the forging of weapons is not a lot here. He's like,
I don't so much for weapons, just tinkering, I guess.
he's like,
You're close to home.
well, you can go help fix wagons and carts if that's what you feel. He's like, but as for forge, we don't carry much.
I was hoping to book in at a forge. The fountain of hammers helps me sleep.
He's like, oh, you can find a hammer. He's like, but as a forge, we really don't have one. He's like, but if you think you can build one and it'll be of assistance, he's like, feel free to.
Pulls the animals and shit out my bag.
This draws a lot of attention from the crowd because from this small bag, you start pulling out all this stuff, and everybody kind of jumps back and looks at you strangely.
What if never goes anywhere without a good handle?
He tells you, he's like, please, could you put that away? We'll find a place for you to unload all that.
Wait till he gets it out.
That's you.
Oh God.
Y'all's post is on he points to the southeastern. He's y'all's guard post, once he gets to y'all's group, is over there. I actually have a list of everybody that's on there.
Eastern?
Yeah, there's a southeastern guard post you guys are being posted at. He says, as I said, you guys can stay there, or do you prefer to rent a room in the Abbey? He's like, I do warn you, the Abbey is quite a walk away from your guard post.
I've actually grown almost natural to sleeping in uncomfortable situations.
Dude, that's exactly what she says.
We stay at the post.
Yeah, your guard post is about 2 miles from the Abbey.
2 miles.
Yeah.
It's a good walk.
How much is the room at the Abbey?
Miles.
About 2 miles.
How much
So
is
we
the
got
room there?
like a bell or something we ring if there's trouble because it's 2 miles.
Yeah, he tells you every guard post is equipped with a bell, and when there's trouble, the bells will ring. He tells you, as you can see on your way here, all the land around the Goldenfields is pretty much flat and open, so you will get a good idea of any type of trouble heading your way. He's like, I do warn you though, he's like, we do get looters and thieves from the area. I mean, you cannot be on the wall, everybody cannot be on the wall at the same time. And as we said, there's a guard tower for every mile around the wall. So he's like, you know, don't feel like if someone gets through on your shift that it's held against you. He's like, we do our best, and I would consider our best to do very well, as this place is standing for quite a long time. Do you have a question? Okay, you asked about the room, right? Renting a room, or was that you?
I was just wondering about the price.
It's not expensive. The stay will cost you 7 silvers a night. But he does warn you, he's like, most of the time, a lot of the guards just stay in the bunk that they're handed. And he tells you there's 30 men at each guard tower per shift, so there's a total of 90 men in each tower. So,
Our young friend of the Greenfields Company, what one did he go to?
He's working the fields.
Well, I can message him and tell him that.
he's literally 1 tower away from you guys.
Okay. We're 1 tower away.
To the south.
See?
So he's just the southern tower.
So is
One tower.
Arvustia in our tower?
Well, that's what we're about to get to, because Arvustia was not assigned to anything because no one knew she was coming.
Okay.
By this time, Grizzly has, took his trip off towards Tribor. So, you need to figure out what we're going to do with her, because obviously she wants to stay with you. But, if you're assigned to this guard post, and that means that guard post is now full, what do you want to do?
I'll just put her up in the Abbey.
Abby, all
Yeah,
right.
she was a farmer, wasn't she?
She was a farmer.
Yeah.
I mean, yo,
I
you-
was
she can
saying
do
that,
so.
but-
She can do work here.
Yeah, I figured that
but
she
what
would
she
enjoy
does
like
work.
she'd be more at home at this place because it would have been in a while.
Maybe.
But I mean, yeah. I mean, if you want her in a room there, you can.
I mean, you can just share a room at the Abbey.
But then I gotta walk 2 miles back.
You'll be okay.
No, I can message.
I need a horse.
I don't know.
A bear.
I can get you a bear.
So they take you up the main road because they're going to take you up, guys, all to your guard towers. As you come up the main road, you get closer to a statue, and it's a 20-foot wooden statue of Chantia. You guys, if you think that maybe you're not familiar with her, but you have seen statues of her at Greenest. She is the main god there.
Yeah, the goddess of like farming shit.
Yeah, farming shit basically.
Yeah.
She's depicted as a plump, smiling woman standing with her hands on her hips in a garden of golden wheat surrounded by a dirt roundabout. That's what this statue looks like.
I nod my head in respect.
North of the statue is a stone building with an open front above which hangs a sign that reads, Earth Mother's Bounty. You can buy seeds and cornucopias here. The sermons that are given by the abbot are done here every day. So like I said, you're not required to come to them, but everybody in close vicinity takes it as a nice little break for an hour and they show up. He's like, but I assume being so far away, we don't expect you guys to show up. And you're the night crew, so. He says, moving on, unless anybody's
Say
got.
the final service is at 6, right?
Yeah, in the morning.
Aye.
I mean, at night, yeah.
Aye.
So, you're not required to come. Anybody want to stop here, look at anything?
No,
There's just a statue
laying
in the
out.
shop, right?
Huh?
There's just the statue in the shop, right?
There's a statue shop here.
Can I refill my kegs?
No.
Damn it.
No, he tells, do you ask?
Yes.
He tells you, if you want to refill your kegs, you need to go to Golden Gold Brewery. We do brew our own ale and wines here.
Wine.
He tells you that is about 2.5 miles north of here.
You guys have horses?
Cut the bed.
But the horses are always used for like plowing fields and whatnot. Most people, you've not seen a person on a horse yet.
A horse for this place. It's too much damn walking. You heard me.
So,
Where's the statue at? As far as where the northeast?
okay, when you come through the gates, it's directly ahead of you.
Where's the gate? North or
It's
south?
you're on the east wall. Nothing here is straight. The walls are all angled at spots and stuff. So
Well, I just like drawing out a little map here, put
I
gate.
could say just like most of our party.
yeah,
So
right.
we're down here, right? Like
Okay.
this is north,
I mean,
south, east, west.
where's your gate? Let's just say
I'll put the
okay.
gate there. So
Okay,
east.
if you come in the gate, well, you're on the west. Your east would be over here where you're going.
Oh, okay.
Okay, put it this way, look. You come in, here's the gate, your tower's over here. Abbey statue.
Okay.
Brewery would be like, oh, way over there.
Yeah.
And that's not even close to the end of the wall.
I'm just trying to get a
There's
map.
like another 2 miles past.
Because I want to try to like get a
This place
map
is huge.
where everything's at, like entries, exits, and doing detective work again.
Oh,
We're back in the
okay.
city.
You did. Well, you have, during your off time, you have all the
Yeah.
time you want to explore this place if you want. It's like as long as you perform your guard duty, you're free to do as you want afterwards. So, like you said, stay in a bunk or you can rent a room at the Abbey. Tells you most guys on the wall just stay in their bunks. It saves them money and they kind of all form a brotherhood. Considering that some are here for 6 months and then some people are here for a year. Travel onward. Everything to the right of you is mostly wheat fields, if I'm right. 13. Yeah, wheat fields. As far as you can see, that's what's on your right, and that's the direction you're going. You go straight to the end of one wall where you come to a guard tower. You cut down the wall, and you pass the grain towers. They tell you throughout the whole area of the wheat fields, there's grain towers everywhere. All of there's 3 of them. crane towers take up a gigantic chunk of town. Like literally, they're almost like
giant
small
silos.
towns. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
giant silos, and they're almost like a small town basically. And you'll see people. People here are very friendly, as I said. As you walk around, people will wave, give you a nod, tip their hat. You make it to your guard tower. As you do, there's people on top of the tower that are looking over, watching you guys approach. You see various races, most of them being human, elf, and a dwarf or two. And your guide, he's like, well, here you are. Like, I'm sure you'll go in. Mr. Nordathan Reborn will show you to your bunks. He runs this guard tower, and he will explain your duties.
Nordathan?
Nordathan Reborn. Guard door down the bottom opens up. Rugged dwarf of 146 years steps out. His face, he's got a couple scars on his face. His hair is all nice and braided up. He's a typical dwarf, and he's first thing he does. Hey, it's nice to see one of the kin.
Hey,
Hey.
what do you have from friend?
He says, the keg inside. Would you like a drink?
Oh, do you ask the right person?
You're the only 4 that are assigned to this tower. Well, everybody has been split up.
Oh, okay.
Not everybody that came here was for guards.
Okay.
Some people that they came from some of the towns that were sacked. That way they'd have something to do. When you come here and when you stay at the tower, it's all volunteer work. But the thing is, you don't pay for food or anything here.
Okay.
So it's like you work for free, all your food and stuff is for free. Now the Abbey is usually reserved for like when special people show up.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he tells you his second in command when he brings you guys in. He introduces himself. So excuse me, ladies. He introduces himself. He's very proud to see a follower of Torn here. He feels that Wesley's character Roland is very skilled with the weapon compared to looking at the rest of you. Not that there's anything wrong with you as a dwarf. You just don't look like the typical dwarf. You don't carry a hammer.
Yeah, I do.
Do you really?
Yeah, I carry a warhammer.
I don't ever see
I don't
you
have
use
that.
that thing.
I'm putting down with weapons.
So,
Is it just me standing there because I gave away my crossbow? I just have a warhammer, which I do want to make another crossbow eventually, but
he introduces you
Oh,
to
I just wanna get
his
some-
second in command. It says Orlin Mine Brew.
mind brew.
Mine, as in mining. Mine.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
As it's mine.
And
Gotcha.
he's a dwarf as well.
Or
He's of 176 years. He comes out and introduces himself. Very excited to see one of the kin here. As I'm sure you're taking a nice mug and dipping it in the barrel of golden gold.
I'm picking up the barrel.
It's a huge barrel.
I got this.
So he tells you, as you're drinking out, he tells you, don't worry, that thing is always full here.
Oh, what if I could test that now? Honestly.
He says, when we get the chance, we'll take you to the brewery. They offer you ladies a drink. I don't know if Roland would drink. Yeah, he has drink. I forgot. You guys got drunk.
He has though, but I kind of ruined him with drink.
So,
Yeah, that's why he informed me.
he tells you, y'all shift starts at 9 bells. I have your whole crew for the most part, just some names written down. He tells you some of you will be assigned to the tower itself. Some of you guys will be spread out throughout the wall between the towers, patrolling back and forth. Being the green of the group, you guys will do the patrolling. He says it's almost like a rite of passage.
Hey, can he take me around and show me the weak spots in the wall?
We should have kept
I don't
the
get sleep. What's I keep me so busy?
He tells you, yeah, and they'll lead you. When you come to your tower, you're gonna hang over right. He tells you this part of the wall, actually from your tower to the next tower on the left, right, is got weak spots in it and it needs to be repaired. So he tells you, you're more than welcome to go down there. He's like, well, in your off time, you want to repair the wall, repair the wall. He's like, as long as you do your duties as a guard, he's like, we're perfectly fine with that. So you can feel free to do that. We're going to say right now that it is probably noon. He tells you your shift does start tonight, which is in 9 hours. So if any of you feel that you want to take a nap before then, feel more welcome. He'll show you where your bunks are.
I'll take about a 4-hour nap.
If you guys want to travel around, feel free to. You don't need no escort. Tells you, as long as you're here between 9 and 5, you're good to go.
I'm gonna go back to the bunk, take about a 4-hour rest, just so I don't be falling asleep during the shift.
All right. So, what about you, Luda? Roland will do the same.
From our guard post, is there only one way in and one way out?
There's only one way in from the bottom, and then the guard post is okay. Like you're gonna come up the stairs to the guard post, and it's almost like I guess you could say like a gazebo. It's just columns that hold a roof over it. And then it's got, a wall that's probably chest high all the way around the wall. So it's got like a barricade. That way you can, where shoot arrows and whatnot.
Yeah.
But the wall is literally 20 feet wide. So it's pretty thick.
She's actually just looking around, checking all the guard posts out, looking for ways, like if she needed to jump out the window, like making sure there's a way to secure a rope somewhere.
You get a lot of looks from the men here. A lot of looks. Like, yeah.
She got dick.
That's her around.
Well, on your wall, there are 3 females. So is Orbu staying with you, or did you drop her off towards the Abbey?
I guess she's with us right now, but I'm gonna.
Okay.
I'll
Well,
send
you
her
3
off.
ladies get a lot of looks from these men.
That don't bother me.
Okay.
He's used to that. She's too oblivious.
Yeah. A lot of the people that are looking at you, they're not your crew. Your crew's asleep. So when you get your bunk, he will tell you your bunk is shared with basically 2 other people. So, like when you're asleep, someone else, 2 people are usually up, He's like, but if you want to sleep and someone's on their off shift to sleep, he's like, just grab a bunk. Everybody shares everything. But you do have your own, basically, footlocker. So he's like, I do apologize for you ladies for any inconvenience. He's like, but with the rest of the ladies here, you will have your own bunks. So you do not have to worry about sharing a same bunk as a filthy male.
Yeah.
So,
Why not take an offense to that?
well, the dwarves don't take offense to that at all. But, so,
It's not filthy, it's
you and Roland are taking about a 4-hour nap. What about you, Luda?
Oh, eventually I'll go do the same, but like I said, first I'm gonna walk around and find the entry and exit points and any way to get out of this place quickly.
There's only 3.
Yep.
And basically, your second and third one go 2 directions. Like I said, it's pretty open once you get to the stairs. And then there's only one way in through the bottom.
Yep.
Okay, is that it?
Yeah, just, once I get done checking everything out, she's gonna rest up. That way she knows her exit, so she
Okay.
needs to do it.
Vesper, what about you and Robustier?
I'll go ahead and give Orbuste like the 6 gold pieces
Mm-hmm.
and tell her to get a room at the Abbey, and I'm sure she'll need a place to stay while we're here, and hopefully we won't be here that long, and we'll be back on the road.
Well, as how long you're going to be here, that's unknown. He really didn't give you guys a time. But you're here, basically for like volunteer work and whatnot. You could be here 6 months, or you could be here a year.
Yeah,
So,
but I'll tell her that if she, wants to farm or something like that while we're here.
D&D farming simulator.
But our guard tower's full, so unless she can get on somewhere else.
but she could get on at, she could get on here farming and get free room and board somewhere.
I tell her if that's what she wants to do, she can, or she can stay in the Abbey.
She'll take your gold for sure, just in case. But that's what she's going to try to be useful.
Okay.
Maybe she's going to try to weasel her way in. If she can be a guard here with you guys, she's going to try.
Right.
Because
If you want to learn about wall repair or forge and whatever, just come my way.
so maybe she will. Maybe she'll learn something new.
And she knows our shift, so
Yeah. So that's
Come
what
up
she'll
here.
try to
Grizzly's
do.
bear sleeping.
Grizzly's not here.
Oh,
He went off to travel.
Oh yeah, he tried. Okay.
Hey, he followed you guys here because
Yeah.
this is actually the way to travel. So,
I keep forgetting that he's not with her no more.
so are you sleeping?
Yeah.
Sleeping Vesper, I take it?
Yeah, I'm just gonna meditate for my 4 hours I need.
Okay.
So,
We'll just say your 4 hours pass. You guys wake up, so that we'll just say it puts it at about 4 or 5. So you got about 4 or 5 hours. Let's just say 5 until your shift actually starts. So, does anybody want to do anything in these 5 hours?
I want to speak to Northethan
Mm-hmm.
about anywhere I can set up my stuff,
So
so I have an area to work at.
So like for your forge?
Yeah.
He tells you here, that's going to be hard pressed because if it was winter, I'm sure no one would mind that you attempted to set up a forge because it would help keep the place warm. There's not a lot of room in here. He tells you more likely you can go to town, which you passed on the way here.
Yeah.
He said that would be your best bet.
Because I'm thinking guards, no fords, means no upkeep of anything.
Oh no! If you say that to him.
Oh, I was told there wasn't a forge here.
Yeah, he says, but he's like, we are kept with fresh supplies from the surrounding towns. So you get a broken sword, don't worry about it. We've got swords.
That's bloody wasteful.
So he's like, it's not my gold. He says, the wards of Waterdeep keep this place in pretty good shape.
Humans don't know how to spend bloody gold.
And he gives you a good laugh, yeah. He tells you, but if you want to set up a forge, he tells you more likely your best place is in town. He said you might even make a couple coin there if you're smart.
What I really need is a work area supposed to go back to when I'm working on the walls.
So he tells you that'd be your best bet. Town, from where you're at, is probably a good 3 miles. So you guys are going to be pretty good and in shape after this. I mean, well, you probably already are for being on a caravan. He tells you, you know, if you want to set up a forge, go to town. I'm sure someone will appreciate it.
Alright, so I don't want anyone to freak out, but I have an assistant.
He looks at you strange. An assistant. He said, he's like, I don't think an elf would make a good assistant because you came in with 3 elves. And a human.
It's not an elf. It's kind of like a bear, really.
He looks at you strange. A bear?
You'll know it when you see it.
He's intrigued.
You might enjoy it.
Alright.
No, don't freak out.
Alright.
I open up my bag. And I say, Rupert!
And a giant mechanical bear crawls out of your bag.
This is the first time we've all seen this.
does it look like the Terminator? It looks like
I back up and I say, blast it!
I was wondering to start the grizzly before they took off. I didn't get the chance to finish it. Just
Okay, anyways.
giant metal brick.
He steps back because he's very taken off guard by this thing. Because this large mechanical bear starts slowly crawling out of your tiny sack.
Did you put fur on it?
He draws a weapon because he's kind of scared.
No, it's me, assistant. It's me, assistant.
He says, "What?" He's like, "What type of assistant is this?"
That kind of gets me all right to town.
Ah, he says, "Smart, smart." He tells you, it's like, I do warn you though, the druids here will probably see that as a monstrosity. There are some bears that do live in town that walk around freely. He says, and there's far more scarier critters hidden in the fields than just the bears.
What kind of made it more of a momentum of one, to be honest?
He's like, yeah, but telling the druids of such a thing is a different story. So, tells you there's a lot of people from the Emerald Enclave here. And you've actually
Yeah,
became pretty good friends with one. Too bad Wes isn't here. She stopped by here on her way here. So Wes, when you get to watch this, she was here. You're just a bit late. But anyway, so you're gonna ride mecha curds into town.
Yes, mecha curtains.
Okay.
Oh my god, I love it.
Its official name is actually mecha curtains.
Yeah. So Vesper, Luda, what are you guys doing?
Is it guard time yet?
No, you got a couple hours.
Oh, okay. I want to go check out all these fields and everything.
Okay.
She's trying to learn the land before I protect the land.
Well, everything's pretty wide. They this is what they grow here. They got a rice paddies field. They actually have a freshwater spring. There's a vegetable garden that grows carrots, onions, squash, tomatoes, potatoes, radishes, and other vegetables. They have a very large wheat field. From when you were on the top of the tower, wheat was as far as you could see because wheat is used in a lot of things.
Yes.
They've got an herb garden. There's an orange orchard, an apple orchard, a cornfield, barley field, hops field, and pumpkin patch. Now, if you did not realize between wheat, hops, and barley what could be made in this place,
Beer!
beer.
But you get to drink quicker. What comes in bottles or in cans?
So yeah, they grow quite a variety. This helps feeds all of Waterdeep and a lot of towns.
And this is just free to get.
He says, as long as you don't overindulge, no one complains.
We're gonna make all these people in our guard post a nice meal.
Sure. It's better than I'm sure what anybody else here can cook.
Yeah, that's what she'll do.
By this time, it's a bramble form. She's a female halfling that works the wall. Takes offense to that because she is the cook for your shift. So she kind of eyeballs you a little when you say this.
Don't worry. You're gonna put her to shame, man.
Yeah, she kind of raises an eyebrow when you bring this up.
I asked her, I said, I said, crap, trying to think what to tell her. I just tell her that if she wants to help, I can show her some elven recipes.
And she says she could show you some halfling recipes that I guarantee
I think cooking is
far
not
better
good.
than anything you can make.
And I'll tell her that sounds like an idea. Why don't you teach me some of these halfling recipes?
Well, why don't
We're more
you
happy
use
to.
me as the guinea pig for these halfling recipes? And the elvish
Okay.
recipes.
So I think after the discussion between the three of us, or four of us, if she's with us, Bussier, we decided we would probably, we pick this stuff and we will help the halfling make dinner.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna start working on the
are you? Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. If you want to climb over the wall,
Would be-
drop your rope ladder down, and you can climb the wall. I know you don't like heights. You're 60 foot.
I
in the
don't
air.
like be flying,
Okay, well it's 60 foot in the air.
but I'm touching stone.
The wall in your area is in really bad shape.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't mean to interrupt, but is Orbustia still asleep, or did she come back?
I don't know. She's in town. She's at the Abbey.
Right.
So I don't know if you want to go to the Abbey or not.
Probably not till after my shift to give me more time to.
I am going to attend the service at 6 though.
Yeah, which would be here soon.
Yeah.
So that's the
I want
first
to
thing
take
you
like
should
a stock of
probably
what
do.
I have to do. Just take stock and inspect everything.
Okay. So you're going to go to service, correct?
Yeah.
You're going to go explore.
Pick stuff for
Yeah. Well, you can go to town. And
I'm
we
gonna
can
ask
pick
her
your
what she
town.
needs once I know I'm
She'll go
fit
with
this
you.
hat. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
We'll go
befriend her
with you.
now.
And she, you can go to town and pick whatever you
Alright.
need because it's already been
What's the
taken.
halfling's
care
name?
of.
Well, I'm just.
It's a bramble form.
I'm just going with the halfling then for right
You're
now.
gonna go with them. Well, they're going to town, and that's where the Abbey's at. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Or I'm going to assume that you go with them after you get a stock of the wall,
Yeah.
because if you head to the statue, it's just best to go with them
Yeah.
because the statue's after town. You go to town. The buildings that house most residents of Goldenfields are arranged in a concentric half rings around a central square where locals can socialize and gather for picnics after midday prayers. Orderly rows of wooden longhouses, each one large enough to house 100 people, face inward towards the central plaza with an Abbey of Chantia off to the southeast. Each longhouse is a work of art, its beams sculpted with images of particular animals, thereby differentiating it from its neighbors. Wagons and wheelbarrows are parked just about everywhere, free for anyone to use. As soon as you go to town, it grabs one.
Oh, okay.
The oxen needed to pull wagons are kept in the livestock fields. A grove of trees south of town is home to a bunch of apple trees. That's about all that you need to know when you come into town. So as they're getting vegetables and whatnot together, you're gonna go ahead and head south for prayers?
Yes.
Okay.
But as I do, I'm gonna look at Vesper. Yeah, I want to see the happening. It looks like something. I just remember something. What the hell ever happened to Jumped Up?
Jim the Gleamsilver.
Yeah. She just kind of put off that after they built the dragons.
No. She followed you guys.
Yeah, I mean, like after we got back to town.
Yeah, well, yeah, she went to you guys with Daggerford, and she went to Waterdeep when you guys went to Nightstone. She was there.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, she just kind of
Yeah.
noted to the crowd after
Yep.
the dragons.
She sure did, actually. Story for another day.
I completely forgot about that. This is the half. I was like,
Hey, while we're here, this is something I do daily. Just looking to see if Varys ever comes into this place. This is something.
Okay, Varys is in Lust.
What as though he travels around?
He's a mercenary.
Okay.
And he works for the Arcane Brotherhood, which is in Luskin, which is quite a far ways north from here.
I thought always keep him, but I don't forget him.
Alright. So, you go through, it grabs a wheelbarrow and starts going through town, and she tells you, we'll go down here to these groves, these trees, and get some fresh fruit. You know, that's the best thing to take with you while you're on the wall. You know, she's like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't want a hot meal in my belly when I'm walking up and down the wall.
I agree with everything, and I'm trying to absorb all her information.
Like I said, man,
we're just out there.
everybody here is very friendly. They'll wave, you know, offer you a nod. I mean, no one complains about anything. It's a very uppity place. You go to these groves, it's mainly apple trees. Roll me a perception. We'll go sight first.
Oh.
No, not you.
I was about to say,
No, you're
I
heading
was
south.
on, yeah.
You're heading south.
16.
Okay.
6.
Roll me hearing now.
Hopefully I hear it. No, 6 again.
You don't.
12.
But she's just kind of, climbing up a tree, like picking up, grabbing apples, tossing you guys. You hear it and you see it at the same time. You see this large tree walking through this grove.
Oh my God.
And it's easily 40 foot tall. And it has all these kids hanging off of it. And they're all laughing.
Oh.
And you hear this deep, and you can just see it off in the distance. And the kids are laughing, and they're hanging from vines off of its arms, and it's swinging its arms around, and they're just having a heyday on this living tree. You've never seen anything like this before.
Flip it out.
You don't see this.
Oh, I don't see it.
I'll ask, because obviously the kids are playing, it's laughing, and they're having fun. So I'll just ask Ida, what's up with the giant tree over there?
She tells you that's Liferless. She tells you the druids from the Emerald Enclave awoken that tree to help look over the crop here. He loves the children. The children will sit and play with the tree all day.
Okay.
So these druids, they don't like his animals.
He said the tree was in the middle of town when they built this place, and it was the first thing the druids did. No one wanted to cut it down, so they awoken it, and it's been here ever since this place was created.
Cool.
Interesting.
So, but yeah, by now you notice this, and it's a giant tree with all these kids playing on it.
I'm starting to take note that the druids in this place are fairly powerful.
She was like, some of them are.
I fear for your bear.
Why? You can cast the spell. Just go away.
Okay, so, you guys split off, you go through town riding this mechanical bear.
He's my friend and my son.
And you get a lot of crazy stares.
You going full tilt boogie on it? You just all out going?
Some people even give you hateful stares.
That's rude.
Well, this is a place based around nature, and you're bringing this abomination through here.
It's essentially a golem. How's that an abomination?
But to commoners, who has actually really seen a golem? Okay,
I'm just saying.
I'm just telling you. So, you come to the statue of Chantia, as they're getting ready for the prayer, and you're approached by 3 female druids, 2 elven, 1 human, and they ask you, where did you get this?
I made it. I modeled it after a friend of mine. His name was Kurtz.
They ask you, why would you model a
Construct.
after a beautiful creature of nature?
Because it was a beautiful creature of nature. I admired it. And he had to go off on his own way. I wanted something to remember him by.
They tell you, could you not have built a memorial or a statue to this bear instead of this mockery?
Well, a statue wouldn't come with me.
So she's like, but a statue can be placed somewhere for all to see.
And
And when they turn, they all do this, and they point to the statue of Conchia.
This is what he's like, Vesper.
And you can tell they're not fond of this thing.
First day at recess, he gets beat up by 2 other kids.
As I didn't make the memorial for all to see, I just missed my friend. And I thought this having something that looked similar to him as I traveled.
One of them tells you,
made
this
that?
looks nothing like a bear.
It looks exactly like a bear.
What was your crack check on it?
I don't know, but I have expertise in that crap.
Yeah. Because it's probably a little grinding to it. You know, it's a mechanical bear. I mean,
You tell him it's evolution.
No. Or loves nature in general. He likes the animals and stuff. But he sees these things as things that can be captured in the moment, so to speak, and transferred over.
So we're gonna make a giant gorilla and a raptor to go with it?
Ord has not seen a gorilla raptor, or else maybe.
They become beast wars.
There we go.
hey, there you go.
Yeah.
You can tell they're very offended by this thing.
I do not want to make you uneasy. I have a friend at the Emerald Enclave, myself, her name's Adele. If it will put you in my ease, I will put you.
You say her name, and they like, you know her.
Hey, we traveled from Baldur's Gate to Nightstone together.
They tell you she was just here 3 days ago.
Really?
She was,
I'm glad to know she's well. She's gonna smoke off another night.
They give you deep bows and they apologize. Any friend of hers is a friend of ours.
No, if it'll put you to ease, I don't mean to offend. If anything, I hope to inspire others. I can put away while I'm in town. If ease you a bit.
They tell you no. If anything, maybe you should take him to Harvest Home Abbey.
Hey, what's at the Abbey?
You'll see. And they all laugh.
There's a priest there you don't like.
And they walk
there.
off.
Do it. There's a priest there that don't like. I'm gonna do it.
Kabat, Elderden, Darvokik, he gives his big sermon about bountiful harvest and whatnot, you know, keeping the crops clean, you know, keeping the land clean. And it goes on for about an hour.
Yeah.
Then afterwards, everybody gives everybody a big hug, you know, everybody's pretty friendly here. And even though no one knows you here, they give you big hugs. You know,
I
wish you well.
I really will day to you as well.
Some people will oddly pet Pop Rupert on the head.
Yeah.
They're very,
Little nectar.
they're very taken aback by this thing.
Where's my pop?
It actually looks like pants and everything like an actual bear does.
Do you go to Harvest Home Abbey after this?
Yeah, I'll swing by.
Okay. By this time, I'm going to say that you've probably met up with Orgustier Vesper, and she has got a place in town for free, and she's going to farm.
Okay.
She's like, you know, so, but she's going to keep your gold just in case she needs to
Yeah, I'm
buy
gonna tell her
anything,
keep the
so.
gold. Yeah. I got plenty.
She tells you she got a shift, you know, just watching over crop, do what you can on your nights. So,
A whole shift.
you guys gather your food, and she's gonna go back with you guys to the guard tower. I mean, she's got time to kill, or why not, you know?
Yeah.
So you go to Harvest Home Abbey. This is the largest and most elaborate building in Goldenfields. Harvest Home, a century-old stone edifice, whose outer walls have statues of Contia at every corner, her hands raised to the sky as though casting a spell to summon rain. Well-tended hedges surround the foundation, and a sun-shaped window with stained glass is set above the entrance and the steps leading up to it. Narrow windows of stained glass decorate with images of wheat, fruit, and vegetables lie in the pillared arcades within. Toward the back of the building, mounted between sturdy roof beams, is a large bronze bell that is rung 15 minutes before prayer every morning and noon and evening. So if you would have stuck around, you would have heard, you know, prayer time. You heard the bells. So you come up to the Abbey. I'm sure you're probably curious to why they told you to come this way.
I have an idea. I'm assuming they really just don't like this guy. Because they're druids. He's the priest of the goddess of nature. I assume there's a bit of a conflict.
Roll perception. This is hearing.
13 minus 1, 12?
You hear the laughter of children. And a bunch of them come running out of the building, and one of them steps off to the side.
Yeah.
And then you hear this, and you know this sound. And two black bears come galloping out of the Abbey, and one of the kids jumps on its back.
It's awesome.
And then they're all playing with these bears, or crawling over these two black bears, and then they notice you're a bear. The kids automatically run and jump on your bear.
My bear starts playing with him.
So, and then these two black bears come up to your bear and start sniffing it.
They're sniffing each other's butts.
I don't know how much would smell like curds from how much I've been with curds. So
What's this here you can understand? They're like, this is our corner, bitch.
Don't fuck with kids. These are our kids.
They kind of like rock your bear back and forth, like testing it out, seeing what exactly it's going to do.
It just kind of nudges them back like they're doing.
So, and they'll sniff it.
It will try to sniff, but it doesn't have oral olfactory. It actually has keen smelling, never mind.
So, I say it's just like a bear, right?
Yeah, it literally has keen scent.
After a while, they kind of just circle around it, sniffing it, rubbing up against it, and they go back to playing with the kids.
Just one compete.
They got kids on Rupert, and they're just like kicking their feet to the sides, like trying to get it to move.
It'll move with them, but just slowly.
So after a while, the kids get off like, oh man, because they expect it to go a little faster, and they climb off of it, and they go back to playing with these two bears.
Well, that went better than expected.
There is a man that approaches you, and his name is Miros.
Miros. That's a good name.
You're almost taken aback about as this man walks up to you. He comes out of a building on the other side of the Abbey. It's Miros Zelbrin. He says, quite a creature you've got there. He says, I see that Darlow and Tilby don't seem too interested in one of its kind. He says, he sticks his hand down, he says, Miros, but everybody calls me Yeti.
I'm Old Whitehammer.
And he is covered in white hair everywhere. You know where people are always accused of being werewolves?
Yeah.
Because they have fur on their cheeks and their forehead.
Yeah.
This is what this guy looks like. And he's human. And he's covered in white hair everywhere.
I'm Old Whitehammer. I'm a crafter, an inventor.
He's like, I see so. He's like, some people might not take kind to that because they prefer nature to craft their animals around here, and he points to the bears.
Don't leave me alone. I won't judge them as long as they don't judge me.
He tells you, said it's strange. No one knows how them bears got in here. They come out of one of the south fields, which is towards your direction of your tower. No one knows how they got over the wall, but they just showed up one day and walked right into the Abbey and didn't hurt a fly. They seem to love the children around here.
Druids have their way.
He tells you, we take it as a blessing from the Earth Mother.
I like that.
So, tells you,
Bears are magnificent creatures.
tells you give it time, they'll warm up to the thing. And he just kind of like taps it to see if it's hollow.
Oh, it's very solid.
So it tells you, like, in time, give them time, they'll get used to it. So you head back up to the wall.
Yeah.
It's about this time, it's probably about 7, your shift starts in about 2 hours. Okay, and your guys are there, you and Etta are going to cook a dinner.
Yes, a
You're going-
magnificent meal.
You're going to learn some
Yeah.
halfling recipes.
Yep.
As I say, the men all are giving you ladies the looks. Just think about it. They're out here in this tower for most of the day. Not a lot of women come through here. There's only 3 on there's 3 on their shift. And then the next one is a halfling. So no one's paying attention to a halfling. It's kind of just how it works. But you guys do get a lot of
I
looks.
can make a lot of gold here.
Probably could.
Do we want to go in here? I need to go.
That's more along the line of expertise. Not so much Luda's.
Does it count since you're primarily for women?
You what?
There's kind of cheating for him.
No, Vesper's buying it. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you gotta think, man. She banged that dude that worked for her boss long time ago.
Just
I'm gonna
good.
start hoarding
She's
you
a
out.
slut.
Just
She used to be. She used to be.
I'm gonna start hoarding you.
Ward-
I'm gonna start hoarding you out.
Ward has the worst opinion of all of you elves. I'm just saying.
But we're friends.
He's
That don't mean nothing.
Yeah, we are very good friends.
So, but anyways, you cook this meal. May play a tune on the violin.
If I play a tune, I'm going to play a tune, but when I do that, it's going to be, they're all going to be trying to get with me, I'm sure.
I mean, people were asking you to,
Yeah.
and you got one.
Or we'll start singing.
Play me one. Roll me a performance, both of you.
18, motherfucker.
Hey!
Where's my performance at? It's pretty high as well. That is a 23.
Now this ends up as a good first night for you guys. Your guys' shift's about to start. Everybody that was on the day shift probably is getting ready to go to bed. Second shift, they're getting ready to come off work. So you guys really lift the spirits of everybody tonight before you set in your first night as guards on the Goldenfields.